think that religion probably got us from the first million individuals, and we had been at 1 million individuals for a very long time in Earth's history, to the first 100 million. And then with monotheistic religion, we got to something like 300 million. And at the turn of the times, at 1 BC, we were about 300 million individuals. And at the beginning of Enlightenment, that is somewhere around 700 BC, we were still 400 million individuals. And at this point, we evolved or cultured the ability to doubt. We started doubting the religion. And feudalism broke down as a result, and we started building a modern, much more productive society. And this society got us to billions of individuals. And then came the next revolution in the 20th century. These were systemic societies, societies that were grown in a lab, where people had created ideologies. Fascism, socialism, communism, market liberalism. These were all things that people thought of and invented in labs and then implanted them in societies. Incidentally, they all failed. We are now in something like a post-systemic age where we don't really know what works and what doesn't work. And when we want to describe our society, we sometimes use words like resilience or anti-fragility and so on, which are good words for muddling through, because we don't really know how to organize these societies in these days anymore. It's a very big problem. We need to deal with this, and many countries try to find different answers to that problem. In a way, this ability to program ideologies and then project them onto people has been a very big breakthrough to our species, and important in this were mass media. Mass media made the 20th century possible, because mass media synchronized the dreams of large numbers of people, the ideas about the world that they lived in. And now, due to social media, mass media have lost much of their appeal. You know, the US, in some sense, had two realities, the CNN and the Fox News reality. There were two narratives that were pretty much compatible, two stories that were being told to the people and that infected their minds. And now, due to social media, people have stopped believing these media narratives to a very large extent. People believe random stuff, basically. That's why we are so obsessed with the idea of fake news, which is incidentally not the propaganda that we are afraid of falling victim to. It's the propaganda that we don't want others to infect. Right? Random bits of information, viral bits of information that come from the internet and that get people to disbelieve the same dream that we are dreaming. It's actually very dangerous because it's going to splinter society in parts that we don't know how to glue together again. I think that our brain is doing an amazing thing that we don't know how to do out there in the real world. Our brain is a self-organizing system that processes information in a near-optimal way. Sometimes we have defects where the brain starts lying to itself, but mostly it doesn't happen. Our nervous system is pretty accurate in the sense that it doesn't lie to itself very much. In the way we build our organizations in the world, our governments and so on, which are in some sense the nervous systems of our societies, they lie to themselves. They are corrupted by local interests and so on. And we haven't really found a way to build information processing networks out in the world that manage to be, for the most part, always truthful and relevant. And if we understand how our brain is pulling this off, to self-organize in such a way that many, many small units can link up in a way that organizes itself to do the best for that particular organism, this is something that we need to pull off in our societies too. So I do think that insights from understanding how our minds work and how our nervous systems work are going to be very helpful in understanding how to build better societies and better organizations.